Hey guys, it's Donny T alone again. After the last show, I said, "Oh, that'll never happen again." Yeah. Well, I got to be honest with you. I was pretty pissed today, and eventually I got a phone call. The guy that was supposed to be on tonight, Joe Lagarde, who is a fantastic guest, and he had misscheduled. He wrote the notes somewhere else and whatever. But I'll say one thing, okay? As far as class goes, he couldn't be nicer by calling me and apologizing up and down. So you knew it wasn't a deliberate thing. And he said, please, he said, can I reschedule it? Please tell all your guests, your watchers, your viewers that I am totally sorry. So having a forgiving heart as I do, and I'm sure as most of you guys do. It was very nice of him to do that. And he will be coming on October 30th. So I'm looking forward to that. And although I scheduled someone else for the this Thursday coming. His name is Sean O'Brien. Nice Italian kid. Kidding, of course. Sean O'Brien, I saw him at the Joey Voices show, a young up and coming comic. And I want to see this guy get bigger and bigger and bigger. He's hilarious. He's a great guy, a great uh, what's the word I'm trying to think of, poise. When he was on stage, he did a great job and he really impressed me. So I reached out to him and he called me back today and he's psyched about doing it. He's been advertising it everywhere. And I love when people take an interest. You know, you offer them something, they take it, and then they revel in it. They're happy that they did it. You guys, I'm sorry, but if you think it's easy doing a podcast, well, let me tell you, it's really not. Though I'm not going to make any complaints. Early on, if I had come on before he called me, I would have been one pissed off fuck. And I'm not. I'm not. I wish I had someone there. Even Eddie, I called Eddie. I said, Eddie, feel like sitting in tonight? Eddie's still got the tail end of the pneumonia. His nose has been bleeding. And, he's told me to tell everybody hello, that he wishes he could be here tonight. And so do I. So do I. I always enjoy Eddie. We come up with things of pretty funny stuff sometimes, And I always offer you guys a seat right there, right next to Donny T. Anybody get a story to tell, something strong, get over here. I'll make you feel very comfortable. I don't think any of my guys are stressed after the first minute. Initially they might be. I know I used to be when I was coming up young. Not that I came up. I'm here. This is my come up. So I hope everybody's doing well. I got to look and see if I have any people throwing darts at me here. Let me check it out. Let me see. Hi, Donny. Big G. Hello, buddy. It's always a pleasure. The Italian Stallion. You know I love you, brother. Big G. Everybody. Hi, Richie. See, everybody knows everybody, and I'm happy. I think this hangout of ours is pretty cool when everything is firing, when everything's going well. But you have to, if you could face adversity and obstacles, once you get over them, you're a much better person, I think. I try not to get too upset over stuff. Once upon a time, what a temper I had. I know I look pretty laid back. That's what getting old does, though. Yeah, but I had a temper and a half. Now I look forward to seeing you guys. every single time. But I wish I could really see you. I know you're there, but I know Brian Cuss reached out to me, and I told him about what was going on. But I told him I'd still be doing the show. I'm never going to not do the show, even when I'm not in a happy mood. Like tonight, I'm not in a wonderful mood. I'm not bad, though. I got to be honest with you. When he called me, he lifted the world off my shoulders because I thought he was just going to be a no-show. And that's a little harder to deal with, because you don't want to hate people. So things happen, things happen in life. He has a wife and a kid, and family's first. But he didn't realize, and he forgot about tonight. So that can happen, And as you get older, you forget everything. A woman called me tonight. She said, "Do you remember your order number?" I says, "I don't remember my fucking phone number." It's the truth. Who remembers? I don't remember a lot of stuff. But here we are, back again, naturally. Should we sing some songs? Nah, because I won't be able to hear you. And I know you don't want to hear me. So I'll probably make it short and sweet tonight. Please stay tuned for Thursday. I want you to see this kid. He's fantastic, and I really want to promote him to get him some recognition. But I'll say one thing. He's been telling everybody about it. I see he's all over Facebook telling people. And that's all I want. I want people that come on here to tell their friends and family about it so that they'll subscribe. And it's all about subscribing, Like I say, and I tell you every week, I don't make 10 cents. But that doesn't bother me because I still enjoy doing it, And just want to be relevant. I want us all to be relevant. This is ours. This is this thing of ours, And I think it's a pretty cool thing. A good place to hang out on, on any off night. There's nothing on TV anymore anyway, unless you want to watch Israel and Hamas, and I'm all set with that. I can't believe man's inhumanity to man. I thought that was over with the Holocaust, but I guess it still lingers on. So horrible. The stories are mind-boggling. So you guys are not watching it, so why should I even talk about it? Because it's that fucking sick. And I don't like that. Let's see what we got. Brian Cuss, he did show up. Hello, Donny. Finally made it. Yes, you did, brother. Now I have to stay on because I don't want you to tune in all the way from the UK and I'm not even on. What happened, Brian? The guy miscalculated the event and he messed up the schedule, and he said to apologize to everyone for him, that he's sorry, he would never do something like that. And when people sincerely apologize for something, it's just, I could be good about that because I'm sure somewhere along the line I pissed someone off by canceling something the last minute or whatever, but never in show business, because anytime you can get something, you want to be in it, So, but what's happening back where you're at, Bri? Tell us, come on. I have to make the show interesting. So if you say something that I can, oh, wait a second. I got another Brian Cuss thing here. Let's see. What's he saying? LOL. Top man, Donny. You're a good man, Bri. All you guys are, We don't have a huge crew, but hopefully little by little it grows, If you tell your friends and your family and they tune in and subscribe, that'd be nice. If they don't, I'm still going to do it, so no big deal. A small crew is better than no crew, right? That's what I say. But, and like I told you, any of you guys try what I said, the theory? Go in the bathroom and just talk to yourself for like a half hour and see what you come up with. Oh, God. It's not easy doing it all alone, you know? But I still do it, though. I have to have my big drink. I have to. It's so dry down here where I'm at, my studio. All right, let's see. Who else is here? Anybody else? Italian Stallion, I got you there. Anybody got anything they could add to this dead ass show? I try to make it as much as I can, but it's hard, but it's just me. I bore the shit out of myself, so God only knows what I'm doing to you. Wasn't it the Italian Stallion that said that? Donny, boring me to death. So, Donny, why did you join up with the military? Well, my father had a hell of a left hook. Okay. And I figure, how tough can the military be? So I decided to go to the recruiting office and say, okay, I'll take a shot at this shit. Yeah, I did it. And I was not a happy kid at home. I used to get thrown out of the house all the time from the age of 13 and then back again and then back out again. And my mother and my sister, they used to smuggle food down to me, and I used to sneak into the cellar late at night. So any meals I had were in the cellar. And I'll tell you, I've been a parent longer than I've been alive almost. And I could never picture myself being cruel to my kids. Never, ever, ever. I don't believe hitting them. But if you have any kind of intellect, there's a way to talk to them. And they know. They know. They might fear the unknown, not knowing what I would do. But I could never, ever, ever picture myself harming my son. I may have spanked one of them in the ass here or there, or, but that's it. I'm not into that. Back in the day, I think, in my father's generation, the fathers they beat the shit out of their kids. When I tell you, my father hit me so hard, it was like he was hitting a man. He was in a bar hitting a guy, and he tried to knock him out, and he almost did knock me out. And I went down. I was 15, and he pulled the table out, and he's trying to kick me in the head. And my uncle grabbed him. And that's it. So that's one of the reasons that I joined the Army. I was pretty much of a street kid, and I liked the excitement of roaming the streets 2, 3, 4 in the morning, stopping for breakfast somewhere and running out without paying and shit like that. I know I'm the only one that did it, right? But yeah, those are the things we did for excitement. And the guy I used to do it with, joined the Army with me in the buddy system, gets out of the Army. He was a sergeant, quicker than anybody at Fort Dix, New Jersey. What's he do? Codeine and some kind of cough medicine, and I don't know. But he OD'd anyway. And the day of his funeral, or the day of his wake, was the day I was going to New York to acting school. And I went to the wake, but I didn't go to the funeral. My friend said, Donny, you got to go. You got to. I says, something my father told me, Donny, life is for the living. And it's the truth. It is the truth. I went to see my friend today at the wake, had a few words with him, and I went there early because my cousin owns the funeral home. So I went in there before everyone, before the family and everything. So I had a one-on-one with him. It's so sad. Uh, Anthony and me, we knew each other for years. We hung around together here and there. I'll never forget. I was going to the mess hall for chow time, and who's standing there but Anthony? And I think he had to. No, it wasn't him. But yeah, we saw each other. He laughed. I laughed. Two young 17-year-old kids. You know, got a lot of balls when you're 17. That's when the army wants you. That's when the military wants you. The younger you are, the more they can manipulate you and put you in situations where you may never come out of it alive. I'd hate to think of all the kids that went to Nam. And that's when I went in during that time. I was lucky and I went to Germany. But I'm sure a lot of kids never came back. So I think of that, and that saddens me. You know, there's a lot of people that don't respect the military, but there's a lot that do too. So it's sad. Let me see what the big G just had. A list of the old family values. My father knocked me on a couple of times. I'm sure we all took a little shot here or there. A little dacara, they used to say. Yeah. I'll never forget this. I was older, much older now. And my father had just punched my brother in the mouth. And my brother was probably in his 30s. And he would fly off, you know. And my brother left the house. And he said to my father, he says, "Go ahead. Is that all you got?" I says, "Oh, God." He used to really get him pissed, right? And about a week later, I'm standing in the kitchen. My father comes up to me with his hand all cocked, all ready to hit me with a shot. And I looked at him and I said, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." He says, "You would hit me, wouldn't you?" I said, "You don't know, do you?" But I wouldn't have hit him, but I would have blocked. You know, I was a good kid, basically. Whenever I would mess up, I'd go to church and ask God to forgive me. But I could be a terrorist too, you know. I got my share of fights in the projects. I think every project kid has to prove themselves, and that's what it was all about, you know. Projects were great, though. I loved living on the projects. I drove by them tonight, and I looked and I said, "Wow, how I wish I was still there." You know, I live in a much better place now, but when I say I wish I was still there, I say it meaning that I wish everybody that was there when I was there could be there again, you know. So that's like anywhere you live, I guess, when you're young, you know. Yeah. So I think. Let's see. What can we talk about? Oh, I know. Those. How about those Patriots, huh? Wow. Did they suck? I actually don't watch the game much, but I finally figured out how to get it on my TV, and I saw the ending, and I said, "Oh my God, what a terrible ending! It was horrible. The whole, I don't know, it's terrible." Belichick threw his clipboard, and he wanted to get rid of Brady, a goofball. How'd that turn out for you? Stupid. Yeah, I used to be a big sports fan. I'd watch everything. I still like watching some things, but when Kaepernick took that knee, that changed me. That changed me a lot. Let's see. We could get another thing here. Augie, yes, you go. Good evening, Don. Just checking in. Thought Joe was joining you tonight. What happened? Okay. I've explained it to all the other people that tuned in. Yeah, Joe got confused with the schedule. He called me up. He couldn't have been nicer and more apologetic. And I guess I'm kind of like, I have a big heart, I believe. And the way he was respectful, if he was being disrespectful, I'd say, well, fuck him. But he was being very respectful. And you know what? I really like the guy. He's a great guy, and he's going to be very entertaining. He said, well, I figured we'd sit down and discuss what we're going to talk about. I said, Joe, you got to understand something. I'm going to throw you in there with the lions because you can handle yourself. You can come up with anything. And I don't care if you want to start with fuck this and fuck that. You're on your own. Go do your thing. He's very opinionated. He's got a lot to say. And, I want him to be able to say it. Let's see. Do we have any other things here? Everything's okay. Okay. All right. Everything's checking. Yeah. And then I'm trying to get Sharon Lynn Smith. She is, hopefully I'll get her right after Sean O'Brien. She's a makeup artist. And she's worked on many, many sets. Every set I ever go to, she's working on it. Manchester by the Sea, Academy Award winner. And she worked on that. Shutter Island, when I was on that, she worked on that. Just about everything I've ever been on, I see her there. And you know something? She is drop dead gorgeous and a wonderful, wonderful person. She really is nice. And I said to her the other day, I said, did you ever think of why I called you to ask you to be on the show? She says, yeah, I was wondering about that. I says, because you were kind to me. And with me, kindness is king. You're kind to me, I'm kind to you. You do something for me, I'll do anything for you. That's just how I am. Maybe I'm, I don't know what I am, but I kind of like who I am. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have liked who I was. Not quite 100, of course. I'm kidding. But as you grow, and if you don't grow mentally, you're leaving a lot behind. So I learned a lot, and I talk a lot only because, like right now, I have to. But I wish somebody was saying something over that side. But I'll get them the next time. And Joe will be, trust me, guys, he will be a great guest. You will love him. And I also I got to get in touch with Paul D'Angelo. He wants to be on. And I spoke to my good friend, Lenny Clark, the other night. In fact, it was the night that the other guy didn't show up. And I went to Giggles and I saw him. And I asked him if he's going to be on again. So I got to call him tomorrow. And he's wanted to come back on. And that's another great night, So don't get down when I'm down. I don't stay down. That's the whole thing. I think Rocky said it. It's not how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get back up. I think we all feel kind of like that a little bit, huh? Nobody goes through this world unscathed. Everybody takes a little shot here and there. And it's okay. That's what makes you who you are. I've become so philosophical in my old age. I got something to add to everything. Maybe I don't make sense, and maybe to some I do make sense. I certainly hope so. Oh, another guy I got to get on here, my good friend, Joe Salvati. I don't know if you know him, but I'll explain who he is. Joe Salvati, back in the 60s, I believe it was involved with a gangland murder. The only problem was he wasn't there. There were 4 people that got sent to prison for the hit. And 4 of those people were not there. There was him, Peter Lamoni, Henry Tamilio from Rhode Island, and one other guy. What the heck was his name? I'll think of it. Oh, Louis Greco from Revere. I loved him. He was a good guy. He walked around with his big top coat. And he was good to the kids, but he didn't want us to end up like him. But he kind of let us know that too. A big top coat, a fedora. He was like right out of the roaring 20s. Good fellas, if there ever were one, he was one. And the four of them went away because of a guy by the name of Joe Barboza. And he ratted them all out, and they didn't do it. But he was working with the feds, and the feds wanted to get certain people off the streets. I think with my friend Joe, I don't think he ever really was involved, but he was a hanger-on. Sometimes you hang with people with problems. I think he had words with Joe Barboza, and that's what threw him in the soup, so to speak, you know. And so, yeah, I've spoken with him. Last time I talked to him, he was sick. But I got to get him down here. I'm sure he's going to have an interesting story. He was in prison for 30 years. Imagine 30 years for a crime you didn't even commit. So he's a funny bastard, too. I had a lot of laughs with him when I met him. And I said to him, I said, Joe, so do you want to do my podcast? He said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I said, well, when do you want to do it? He says, how about 2 years? I said, so you out of your fucking mind. You're 90 years old. I'm going to wait for 2 years. What's the guarantee? So he started laughing. But that's another person I want to get on here. And Tony V, I've spoken to him several times. And he said he wanted to be on my show, our show. And he's very funny. I think he played Fenway Park with Bill Burr not long ago. And I might have a couple of repeats. I think maybe Joey Voices would like to do it again. I'm sure there's other people. I have a guy that goes by the name of Robbie G. And he knows the drug world, and he's done a lot for the addicted people of the world. And he's helped many, many people. He's got a good Christian heart, and he's interesting. So interesting is the only thing that brings you in here. You got to be somewhat interesting. You're going to be more interesting than me anyway, you know. So, but yeah, Robbie G. And I got this one woman, but to get her in here might be difficult. She was a singer for years. And she used to sing in, she's from Revere. And she went out to LA. And remember the song, Papa Don't Preach? I think Madonna ended up covering it. Well, she covered it first. She was going to do the song. And Madonna's agents and everything else took over the song, and she sang it just like my friend, and even down to the clothing she wore. And another thing that she could do, I wish I knew technology because I would put stuff on here, but Janis Joplin, forget about it. She killed it. She sounded just like Janis. So she was awesome. But to get her on here might be a little tough. She's a little on the shy side, I believe. And, you know, everybody changes. She's just not who she used to be, I guess, and that bothers her. Let's see. I think we got something. Oh, we got new comments here. Let's get that down there. Let's see. New comments. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I get that. Big G. Well, we got the new. Oh, hello, Donny. Hello, Sunshine. Hello, Sunshine, my old friend. It's probably the wrong words. Your channel gives us all some positive encouragement. I certainly hope so, because not always, but recently I have positive vibes about life. You know, there were times in my life depression and anxiety rocked me, and I wasn't in control of my emotions. I'm a lot more in control now. But yeah, I hope we all rub off a little bit on each other. You know, I know you. I just want you to be comfortable while we're here together, and we are together. You know, let's see. Every once in a while, something else pops up. Let's see what we got going on. Peggy Jensen. Holy shit. Hi, Donny T. Peggy, my girl. How you doing, honey? Now, Peggy, I got to tell you, she was one of my best friends. You might not know that, but she was one of my best friends. I used to have a show called At the Hop. It was a 50s musical comedy. And she was so instrumental in getting the show off the ground. Believe me, she did everything for me. A better friend, uh, I can't say I've had. She was all that, you know, and I miss her. I miss her terribly. I really, really do. Love you, Peggy. Yeah, she's a great kid. She's originally from Revere. She lives in Florida now. You know, we are the memories we've had, and we are the friends we continue to have. That's who we are. We're just a flash, you know, a speck of sand. That's all we are. You know, there's plenty of songs that say that, right? I truly the okay. Think you should write a screenplay. You know what? I do have several screenplays partially written, and I do have one completely written, but I don't know. It's hard to get those things looked at, you know. Uh, it probably needs a little bit of work. I have a couple that I thought would be very intriguing, interesting, but I couldn't come up with a certain part. I needed a little more stuff for one of them, you know, and I just thought it was very interesting. I had a few of them like that, you know. I think, you know, what somebody told me, and the guy's a writer. He says, you know what writing is? Rewriting. You write something and you look at it and you say, you know what? Nah, I got to put something. Let me put this here. And before you know it, you scratch out a whole page and you do another page, you know. And my director in Colorado, we're talking about acting. Or actually, I saw something, it could have been on Facebook, about acting. And I say, you know what? Most actors have confidence to a limit, but after that limit, they look at it and they say, I'm not satisfied. I could have done something else there. Why did I do that? I should have done this and I should have done that. And your mind goes on endlessly. And somewhere along the line, you got to say, that's it. Donny, that's a wrap. Yeah, but can't I just, no, that's it, Donny. We've had enough. And that's it. That's what acting is. It's, you know, acting, reacting, and all kinds of stuff they say. I watch a lot of actors, and there's some good talent out there, and some not so good. You know, I figure if given the opportunity, I can hang in there with a lot of them. You know? But you got to get that opportunity. I always told my son, Sean, you are only as good as your opportunities. And that's how I feel. As far as writing, I could write all day long. I always wished I had somebody to write with me. They didn't even have to write a word. Just tell me, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? You know, it's hard to get somebody to collaborate with you as far as writing goes. I've always envied people that can get together like that. But look what I came up around. I didn't come up around theater and writing and acting. I didn't come up around that. That's something I endeavored into, but I came up around crime. You know, people would sit around. Hey, I got some hot sweatshirts. I got some hot this, some hot that. And you go to the store and you find the same ones for less money. So, everybody had a hustle. Everybody had a hustle. I was no different. If I didn't hustle, I never would have had a quarter in my pocket. When I worked hard, I worked hard. Working hard doesn't give you a lot of money, doesn't pay shit. But hustle does. But there were several people that were into theater when I was into theater. And they would let me know about certain things, that, hey, Donny, you should go to this. There's an audition there. I would go. Most of the time I'd get the role. But, yeah, and then shit happens and who you are becomes, I don't know, other than a friend anyway, your problems become who you are until you learn to deal with them and put them aside and don't dwell on them. Your damaged goods. I had that experience, acting. There's a play called Lovers and Other Strangers. And I had 2 different roles. And every time I tell a story, I feel as though I already told it. So if you were one of the victims of one of my stories, just block your ears. It's called Lovers and Other Strangers anyway. And I played a role that, you must know who Richard Castellano was. He was in Goodfellas. He was in, The Godfather. He played Clemenza. And I played a role that he played about his son wanted to get a divorce. Why do you want to get a divorce? What's wrong with you? Dad, I'm not happy. Oh, you're not happy. Who you think your mother and me is happy? We're not happy either. We're just content. And someday, Richie, you too will be content. I still remember those lines. That was a funny play. It was actually a very good play. And the other one was, I played a Marine, an ex-Marine, and my wife, they cast me with a woman. She was like 300 pounds. And she was a nag. And I had to go to the bathroom to brush my teeth, right? I had water in there and everything. And let me see if I could do it with this. It'd be funny if I can. And she said, everything with you is always about the core, the core, the core. I said, that's not so. I did the whole Marines hymn anyway. I can't do it. This is a bubbly water. And my director loved me. And I dropped out of the show because of my nerves. Depression. It's a cancer. Depression, anxiety is a cancer. So if I sound like I'm talking from experience, you could bet your ass I am. But you can't dwell on it. You got to pick it up and start carrying again. And that's what I do. That's what I did. Now, let me see. Anybody else? With all your neighborhood stories, and I got plenty. Yes, I do. Got plenty. And I got plenty you guys haven't heard. But I always feel guilty whenever I bring out something to read. And I say, oh, shit. It's like, what's this? Romper Room. I'm reading to these kids, and they don't, I don't know what you like hearing, what you don't like hearing. I do the best I can do especially when I'm alone here. I can't even believe I've been talking as long as I have. Where does it come from? My director in Colorado says, so Donny, what are you going to do when you get to that part right there, when you get over there and have to say this? I says, you know what? You'll find out when I get there, because that's what I'm going to find out. And it would just come to me. Certain things that I would say, you know. Improvisation is probably my strongest gift when it comes to acting, you know. Just got to get the opportunity to do it. Somebody's got to believe in you. Yeah. Well, let me see. Did Peggy G say anything else? I don't see her anymore. She's still here. No, she's not. Oh, there she is, way up there. Peggy G's got nothing else to say. Oh, yeah, Donny, should have got Martin Scorsese. Yeah. You know what? He was a fantastic. I really loved Marty. He was a good guy. You know, I didn't get to talk to him but one sentence. I says, hey, do you mind if I get a picture with you? He says, oh, yeah, absolutely. So we got together, we hugged, and he says, by the way, Donny, he says, you do good work. Whew. Wow. Martin Scorsese says, Donny, you do good work. And all I was a stand-in. But they were looking for a stand-in for Sir Ben Kingsley for a long time. And they couldn't find one that they liked. But they kept me. And I was in it for quite a while. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time. Great time. That was the most sought-after movie. Everybody wanted to be on Shutter Island. Everybody. I had fun with all of them. And, you know, sometimes I play the cunning role. Like I told you, I think, what's his name? DiCaprio. You know, I was acting, but he didn't know I was acting. I brought some stuff to him, you know. But I've got something to say to my pal here, Italian Stallion. Anxiety is definitely scary. You bet your balls on that. I thought my life was over. I really did. And there's a lot of people that go through anxiety. I had a whole program on it once on another podcast, not to mention. But I spoke with this one guy, him and I spoke. And as much as I know about acting, I know that much about anxiety and depression, you know. And I've always tried to help people with it, you know. And I do that poem that I've done probably several times. If you didn't hear it, it goes like this. When confusion is the only thing of which your mind can digest, neurotic pains throughout your being, you try hard to protest. When life seems bleak and you can barely speak, and it seems to be the end. When pills don't help to cure your doubts, there's nothing like a friend. And that's what pulled me through. My mother was my friend. And I was in my 30s at the time, my early 30s. So, yeah, nothing like a friend. If it's a real friend, you know. We know the real from the, what's the word? Fugazis. So, probably doesn't apply there, but I like it because I know everybody here will understand it. So, yeah, depression sucks. If you get somebody to call on the phone in the middle of the night and they can talk you through it or walk you through it, yeah, that's huge. A lot of people don't have the patience that it takes when their friends have that emotional problem, you know. I was going to say disorder, but that wouldn't be correct. It's an emotional problem a lot of times, you know. You know. Let me see. I think I got another thing here. Let's see. Like I said, Donnie, there's something that I feel that you're going to be getting that break soon, that your star is going to rocket into the universe. And you know what, guys? God willing, that will happen to me. But if it does, and I had a big party, you guys would all be there. Because not that I don't care about money. We all care about money because we need it to survive. I don't do it for money. I don't live my life for money, for struggle. I already did my struggle. And my hustle saved me some money that my son will end up with. But yeah. So if I made it, if I was a big time movie star, I would still be the same guy. I wouldn't deviate from who I am. It took me all these years to develop into a person that I like. So a lot of these big time stars and stuff, I wouldn't give you 10 cents for a lot of them. I have met some that were very, very nice. I'll tell you one that was really a sweetheart. That was Ed Begley Jr. And he was on the set of What's Your Number? I was all over that. They called me over. You want to sit here? Sure. I was on set with a bunch of people that were in the cast, and he was good friends with Marlon Brando. And Marlon Brando, once upon a time, was my idol, you know. For argument's sake, I don't have any idols, but he was somebody that I followed a lot. And he told me he would never talk about acting. He would talk about electric eels as a power source. And he'd come up with some kind of mishkombro for a food source. He was always thinking outside the box. So, but, you know, I'm very impressed with you guys. I got to say, honest to God, I really am impressed. Because here I am just speaking off the top of my head, and you guys are hanging in there with me, you know. Believe me, I was a pissed off guy when I came here, and I says, you know what, Donny? However you feel, it doesn't matter. You have to show these people respect by showing up. Who would I be if I didn't show up and I bitched about somebody else that didn't show up? That wouldn't make me much of a person, would it? I like to believe that my word is my bond. That's the only way to be. My word is my bond, you know. Sometimes they give you a word and you wish you didn't. I mean, I've been in that club too, you know. I said, oh, why did I say I would do that? No, I got to do it. Unless they cancel. Oh, I hope they cancel. They never cancel. Not when it's some shit thing you don't want to do, but you got to do it anyway. So, well, let me see. I think I got a little flash on the screen. Every time I see a flash, I got to check it out. Let's see. If you're using StreamYard, you can drop a link and your audience can call in the show. Wow. Sunshine, get your ass over here and teach me how to do it because I cannot figure out anything. And you are more than welcome. If you want to PM me, I'll be happy to give you my phone number. And you could help me. Help me. I need help. I have a beautiful sound system. I have a nice camera, and that would take in like 4 spots instead of just the 2 that I use here. But I don't know how to do it. And a lot of people don't have patience enough to teach, to show you what to do, you know. But I like that idea, and I wish we could do that. That would be awesome if we could all talk, you know. That would be great. What's this here? Donny, I have to run. You have a great night. Love you, brother. You take care, Stallion. So, and that's it. Let me see who else we got here. Anybody else leaving or coming back? Yes, you need a think tank. Yes. Or roundtable discussion. Put these ideas on paper. I agree. We got to be able to do that, though, and I don't know how. I hate to say I don't know how, but I don't know how. Let's see. I have great ideas, though. Yes, you need a think tank. Anxiety is scary. Yes, it is. Let's see. What do I got up here? Peggy Jensen, she's probably gone by now. Yeah, Donny, she'd have gotten Martin Scorsese. Wow, that would be something, huh? I'd probably only get 2 subscribers. Yeah, I don't get a lot of subscribers. I wish I did. But what are you going to do? You know, a lot of people don't know. It takes a long time, I guess, to, you know, like I said, Donny, there's something that I feel. I hope you're right, Big G. I'm in Hawaii. So you're 6 hours ahead. Of course, I got somebody that's finally going to help me, and she's in freaking Hawaii. I will work on the steps and message you on Facebook. You're the best. I thank you so very, very much. 50% of success is just showing up. Yeah, most of the time. There's exceptions to that rule. But, you know, well, if you guys are done with me, are my eyes blue? I can't see my eyes because it's so bright in here. You have no idea. I got 3 big lights on me. So, hey. Yeah, Donny, I can help you. Big G, you know what? Since I met you on the other place, at the other place, you've always been kind to me. And when I said kindness is king, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, you've always been nice to me. Look at this. Oh my God, what's this here? I got somebody, let's see. 10 minutes, it'll be an hour. She says, this is Sharon. Oh my God, it's so crazy. Everyone is asking me about this Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm totally booked Friday, Saturday. Next weekend, I'll probably be free. Now I'm going to say, let's see, whenever, not a problem. You pick a day. It could be during the week. It doesn't have to be a weekend. Okay? Love you, babe. That's it. But she is certainly eye candy, I'll tell you that. You guys are going to say, wow, Donny. She's a sweetheart, but she's a good person. That's what I care about. So, all right, guys, it's been close to an hour, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes of. I was only going to do like 20 minutes to a half hour, and Brian showed up, and he made me think, well, if he can call me from England, what the hell? Oh, here he is. How the hell did that happen? Oh, here you go. Great show, Donny. Thank you, Brian. You're the best. Yeah, you guys are all the best. All right. I love you, and I mean that from here. So you need me. I'll be here Thursday night. Okay? Be there or be square. God bless you.